They're brought to you by the Coca-Cola Bottling Company. And our first lineup will be of the red, white, and blue of the USA, coached by Milutinovich.
Tony Meola from nearby Kearney, New Jersey. He's the team captain. The sweeper is Marcelo Bальбоа. John Doyle will be one of the stopper backs. Next to him will be Desmond Armstrong. On the right side, playing in the back, is Fernando Clavijo. Brian Quinn will be orchestrating from midfield.
And Bruce Murray will do the same role down the right side. Dominic Kinniэр will
serve as an attacking midfielder for the USA team today. Peter Vermes, a homecoming for him. He played for Rutgers University in his collegiate career. He'll be running as one of the front runners, along with Eric Wynalda, probably the best goal scorer that the U.S. have on the field today.
That's a look at the USA lineup for the blue and gold of the Ukraine. This is really their second game of all in 1992. Prokopенko is the coach there as part of their lineup.
Number 3, Serhii Tretiak, is the man to watch. He's the most experienced defender. He's going to organize for them defensively. And if you look at their midfielders and forwards, the man to watch is Ivan Hechko. He has 10 goals in the league. And number 9, Yuri Hudimenko, has 12 goals, the leading scorer in the Ukrainian league.
Well, those will be the two players to watch up top for the Ukraine side. As Taikio mentioned, Eric Wynalda is certainly a force to be reckoned with on the opposite side. He has scored 4 goals in 5 games this year. Stick around. You're watching the World Series.
Nью-Джерси is the site of today's World Series of soccer match between the Ukraine and the United States World Cup team. The Ukraine has played only one other game this year. They lost a 3-1 game at home against Hungary a couple months ago, but they used mostly youth players in that particular game. Your officials are Michael Caulfield from the Republic of Ireland. Jerry Artimone is one of the linesmen, and Alan Brown being the other. The fourth official or an alternate is Robin Buss. The last 3 officials, the linesman and the fourth official, are from the United States. Hot conditions today. We're told it's 80 degrees, 53% humidity. The wind is coming from the southwest, 14 miles per hour. You and I were down on the field for the open. It's sweltering down there.
I believe the humidity is just a bit higher down there because with a bit of rain that hit this area.
Oh, about an hour before kickoff, it's still evaporating off the grass there, and you can really feel it. Up here, it's nice and cool in the press box.
You're just looking at Chaika. They will be performing at halftime. 40 young men and women. It's a dancing group from New York made up of Ukrainian Americans. Should be a festive day here in New Jersey. I'm anxious to see how the United States plays after the disappointing loss 2 weeks ago. They've made a few changes in the lineup. Wynalda's back. Vermes on his home field. He told us earlier today, Ty, that he'd be excited to play here and wants to do well, obviously. It's his first game back here.
The U.S. team looking for some consistency. They've gotten some very important results against top world teams, but that does not mean you've arrived. You have to go out and be able to prove it, no matter the opponent. And this Ukraine team playing with a great deal of pride because they're able to represent their country as an independent nation, something they've not been able to do ever before.
Number 10 over the ball is Ivan Hetsko. He had 10 goals this year playing for Odessa. They are the cup champions of Ukraine. He's one of the players to watch. Number 9, Hudimenko, being the other for the Ukraine. It is played back. The Ukraine with the ball there in their blue and gold colors. USA in red, white, and blue, predominantly white this afternoon in New Jersey. Moraz is number 6. Armstrong breaks up the play. Wanted Kinniэр. Near midfield. And this one will go astray. Murrey was the closest man to it for the U.S. actually. The U.S. will have a throw in.
The field is a full 74, nearly 75 yards wide, and it is high plush grass, so we won't see the ball hopefully going out of play too much. And it is a full 120 yards long, so room to really distribute the ball and create attacks.
Armstrong on the throw off of Vermes. Touch. Wynalda was looking to break it. Taken away. 9 was Hudimenko. The Ukraine moving it left side. Moraz, number 6. Vermes putting on some pressure. Up the left side, they look for Simbala, number 7. And that's busted up by Armstrong and Murray. Ukraine will keep it in possession, their half of the field. This is Tretiak, the most experienced player at the back with 36 caps. He too played for Odessa, the cup champion. Left side. played long by Morals. And now Bальбоа, deep in his own end, sends it out of play. Throw-in coming up for the Ukraine. When we talk about caps for the Ukraine players, we're talking about the Soviet Union. Those will cease to exist because of the breakup. And this team will play as an independent, as will several others, thanks to the breakup of the Soviet Union less than a year ago.
However, there is a bit of confusion because of the existence of the CIS team. And in fact, leading up to the '94 World Cup, any Ukraine players who would like to participate in the World Cup would have to join the CIS. The Ukraine did not get in early enough in terms of FIFA to be one of the sanctioned teams to enter the '94 World Cup.
Morales on the throw from Pomazun, the goalkeeper. Simbala giving it up in midfield, and Armstrong took him down. Play on, says Michael Caulfield, the official. Advantage went for the Ukraine. Moving it upfield. This is the deepest they've been. Sent in outside of the penalty arc. Walking in. Hudimenko can't get the ball, as Meola was right there. But Hudimenko found an opening.
There was some space there. Quinn, in fact, made an excellent defensive play by being able to get his body in just in time to ride Hudimenko off the ball.
U.S. will bring it back. Brian Quinn. John Doyle did not play in the last game against Orlando. Was playing for his club team, the San Francisco Bay Blackhawks, in a CONCACAF game. Tournament qualifying game. This is Clavijo on the left. Vermes.
Doyle, a player who had outstanding performances in that U.S. Cup, marking up against some of the finest attacking players in the world. Players like Vialli, Donadoni.
Niall Quinn in the U.S. Cup '92 series that started it in Washington. Here's Bальбоа to Armstrong. Scoreless game. We're just about 4 minutes old here in New-Jersey. Clavijo right at midfield. Finding Quinn. They were teammates indoors in San Diego. That ball traveled a long way. Quinn trying to give it up. Hetsko on the miss. This is Wynalda, number 11, for the United States. And Wynalda was tripped up. Hudimenko with a foul.
Now the U.S. today playing without a couple players who would be involved in this free kick situation. Hugo Perez, one of them, as we see Wynalda trying to break through midfield. In fact, he had come quite deep to collect that ball and was running at the Ukraine defense when he was taken down. But Tab Ramos, who is injured, would normally be involved in these free kick situations, as would Hugo Perez.
A lot of players missing today from the U.S. lineup. We'll give them to you when we get a moment. But right now, this free kick coming up. Dominic Kinnier, number 8 for the U.S. Into the area. Bальбоа with a strong header, but that's too strong, and it goes up to better than 39 minutes to go here in the opening half of play. U.S. looking for the first strike with Wynalda, number 11. Outside of the area. He was broken up. Vermes with a recovery. Now back for Clavijo.
It is a different setup for the U.S. team. They've been playing recently with just one man up. In fact, against Australia, that was Ernie Stewart. In this game, though, it's very obvious that both Wynalda and Vermes are the front runners.
Wynalda tackled away. Wynalda with a nice recovery. Armstrong is 15, trying to split two defenders. Playing it outside now. Wynalda in the area. Knocks it right back out. Vermes on the cross, far post. Too high. Mihallik was looking for it. U.S. will control it, though. And they work it back out for Dominic Kinnier. Kinnier trying to find the hole. Broke it up. Here come the Ukraine. Hetsko, number 10. Tries to play it back. This is Sherbakov. And Armstrong breaks that play up with help from Clavijo, and it's back for Meola.
Hetsko proving that he is a quality attacking player. Looking very strong in the counterattack. He lurks in behind the U.S. defense. And when the Ukraine is ready to clear the ball, he's straight onto it. As we see here, the serve by Vermes at a very difficult angle. In fact, he gets a bit too much on it because he had to really force it in to keep it in play. But it had the correct swerve on it away from the goalkeeper.
Gone nearly 8 minutes here in this opening half of play, and it is scoreless. Ukraine losing it now. Wynalda finding Bruce Murray outside of the penalty area. Wynalda sends it across. Mihallik's shot was blocked. It will go out of play. Should be and is a corner kick for the U.S.
Wynalda trying to make his mark on this game very early and taking players on. And they're just creating difficulties for the Ukraine defense out at the top of the box. Not a bad idea by Wynalda there to set up that shot.
Or Milutinovic, the head coach, next to him, Timo Liakoski's assistant. The cross to the middle. Cleared out. A chance. Quinn missed kicking. Quinn with another one, a left footer, and a save. A spectacular play. Pomazun, as Brian Quinn did well to recover that one. What a way to follow up a mishit. U.S. will have another corner kick coming up. Kinniэр will take it far side. A low bender. A player was knocked down in the penalty area. Doyle in the air. Not cleared out, and now finally by the Ukraine. Klevio missing with Hetsko, but Armstrong is backing him up. Bальбоа, that time, the sweeper, had advanced on that set piece on that corner kick to play way up.
The U.S. has been able to mount some heavy and consistent pressure on the Ukraine defense, but you still really have to respect their counterattacking capabilities.
We're in the 9th minute of play here at Rutgers, and it is scoreless. The U.S. with a couple of corner kicks over the last minute and a half. Armstrong plays it right side. Dominic Kinniэр, who plays for San Francisco Bay in the APSL. Vermes, Wynalda, the bender far post, too far for Bruce Murrey, who'll chase it down. Murray leads this team. 73 appearances and 17 goals. Here's Quinn. Bальбоa is 17. He's got Kinniэр right. Bальboa's shot didn't get as much as he wanted to on it, and it goes wide of Pomazun.
The chances here by Quinn from well outside, but he got behind the ball, really got the center of it, and just drove it barely over the crossbar. But that's been the best chance for the U.S. so far.
There's Pomazun, the goalkeeper, played on the Olympic team of the Soviet Union and also on the Soviet junior team.
And the Soviet Olympic team were the gold medalists in the '88 Olympics in South Korea, making full use of Ukraine players, as the Soviets always have, including, if you want to talk about some of the all-time greats of Soviet soccer, like Oleg Blokhin and Igor Belanov. These are guys who played with Dynamo Kiev, were very successful in European competitions, and also were named European Players of the Year at one time or another.
Gone more than 10 minutes in the first half. It is still scoreless. This is Armstrong for Bruce Murray. Brian Quinn just overran it. Morris. Simbalar taken down by Peter Vermes, and we've got a foul. Quick restart, they'll allow that to go. Coming back, Kovalic to Simbalar, and it's broken up, and Kovalic again will get possession back for the Ukraine. Number 8, Kovalic will play it back. Budimenko's pass, Hetsko, number 10. Kovalic again. Running to the corner. And did Bальбоa push him? They're going to say no. Lost out of play, and Meola should have a goal kick coming up.
And the shout from the back coming, get tight. The space is left there for attackers like Hetsko, Budimenko. They know how to use it. It's intelligent play, really, from the back, Tony Miola and Marcelo Bальбоa, to make sure everything is tight and organized out in front.
Armstrong will advance now for the U.S. Up for Peter Vermes. Desmond Armstrong again up to midfield. Will find Brian Quinn on the switch to Murray. Right back, nice work from Kinniэр. Murray is number 4 for the U.S. A low one, and it's wide of Wynalda and the goalkeeper. Hand to Peter Vermes. Almost 32 minutes still to go in this first half of play. And that ball apparently went out of play. We were talking before about players that are not here. Tab Ramos is injured, not playing today. John Harkes, we wish him well on his honeymoon, was given time off. Players like Thomas Dooley, Paul Caligiuri, Ernie Stewart, Roy Wegerle given some time off. Chris Henderson with the under-23 squad in preparation for the upcoming Olympics. And Hugo Perez, in talking to him today, he has some kind of an insurance problem, so he could not play, we were told, in today's game. So the U.S. trying some new faces out there, but certainly enough talent out there to win the game. Quinn sending long. U.S. will try the left side. Working against Pohitko. Play back to Klevio. From 30 yards out, looking for Winalda. It was just deflected out, but it'll be a corner kick coming up, but the U.S. was threatening again. And these corner kicks.
Clavijo looking to switch the attack all the way to the opposite side. And Murray's been lurking over there. Wynalda, they've been looking to the back post to try and catch the Ukraine defense shifted to the other side.
Ramos and Perez do a lot of the work normally on these corners. Right now it's Mihallik into the middle, straight up. Murray trying to settle it, and it's tackled away. U.S. had several players there, including Bальбоа, looking to strike. Clavijo for Brian Quinn. On that far side is Wynalda. Again, it's Brian Quinn. Mihallik free on the right wing. U.S. onside. Here's Mihallik. On the cross. Headed straight up far post. Bальбоа couldn't get around his man, who was Kovacic. U.S., though, in spite of all the new faces, doing a lot of creative things here today so far, Ty.
The Ukraine team taking really a low-pressure approach. They're defending only in their own end. And here's a left-footed serve by Mihallik, and that's what he excels at. He can really deliver the ball on target. He got it into Peter Vermes, who could not quite turn it onto goal. And as you mentioned, Bальбоа had another chance at it, but it also was out of his reach.
Here's Moraz coming back for the Ukraine. Less than 30 minutes to go now here in this opening half of play. Brian Quinn for Wynalda, who played collegiately at San Diego State. His father, in fact, played football up the road or down the road for Princeton years ago. Throw in coming up for the Ukraine. And they play it back to Nikiforov, who played for the Cup champs Odessa. The coach, Prokopenko, is from Odessa, so he brought 4 of his players here to participate in this World Series of Soccer match. Here's Moraz. Wynalda putting some pressure on. Moraz is number 6 in the blue and gold of the Ukraine. Swings it wide right.
These are quite warm conditions for Soviet players. And it could be affecting their style of play. I think they've come in with the idea that they've had a long flight. When you watch them defend, not really go after the ball, they're conserving their energy and looking to score on counterattacks.
They look for Hetsko deep. John Doyle out of the pack, but then the giveaway. And the Ukraine will take it right back. Nikiforov is number 5 for the Ukraine, advancing it.
Which one's our head coach?
Giving it back.
The guy with his arm.
Bondarenko is 4. He's broken up. Brian Quinn, 14 for the U.S. to Wynalda. Wynalda with a good burst of speed. Has Vermes to the left. And it's one. Nice job, Nikiforov, coming back to make a nice play defensively.
Nikiforov really used his size there to step on Wynalda, because Wynalda, with his good change of pace, had nearly broken through. You see it here through the midfield again, and he accelerates. He's nearly inside. But look at the shoulder action by Nikiforov. He uses his size. He's a big guy. He just came in, knocked Wynalda off the ball. Excellent defensive work.
Moraz bringing it back. Finds a little space on the outside. There's the top goal scorer, Hudimenko. 12 goals led the Ukrainian First Division. Bondarenko, number 4. Doyle and Hetsko are holding on to one another. The linesman had his flag up, though, on the opposite side, far side. Does the referee have a foul before it?
It's being signaled as an indirect kick. So most likely Doyle doing some obstructing there.
Well, now let's see what...
I think it's an offside call.
Yeah.
The referee was pointing the other direction. All the players, in fact, were convinced it was a call against all, because they were setting up for a free kick against the U.S., an indirect kick.
I assume the referee had overruled the linesman, but apparently did not. What a bending ball that was. Clavijo to Armstrong. Nice job, and the U.S. will advance. Broken up by Moraz. Quinn right there, but then it's taken away. Moraz got it back from Sherbakov. And then Quinn and Armstrong combined on the tackle. It's got to be frustrating from a U.S. standpoint. Win a ball, nice job defensively, and then give it right back up. Moraz, number 6, plays for Kiev. Left side, Sherbakov in the corner, and he'll get a corner kick out of it with his effort there against Armstrong and Bальбоа. Sherbakov is is the man that did the work as we watch Desmond Armstrong, who's played both indoors and outdoors professionally in the U.S. Simbala will take the corner kick from Odessa. That's his club team, 23 years old. Simbala, far post, deflected out by Murrey, it looked like. Wynalda on the run. Now waits for support, and he finds it. Murrey, number 4. Bruce Murrey poking it to the right corner. Brian Quinn, a tackle by Moratz. Linesman did have the flag up.
Quinn was fouled in the corner there, setting up another free kick situation for the U.S. We'll see Quinn. He gets there first. He elects to get away from the ball and is taken down by Moratz.
Free kick coming up. Kinniэр will take it. Still scoreless. Better than 25 minutes to go in this first half for Rutgers. Kinniэр on the bender, headed down and just missing. Doyle was open on the far side, but it looked like Wynalda was the man that came streaking in. 2 players had a cracked eye.
And Wynalda had a real good look at it. He's looking into the sun, though. Moving away from the keeper by Kinniэр. And there's Wynalda just flying through there, getting his head onto it, but not able to direct it on goal. A great chance. Another well-executed free kick by the U.S. team. And Wynalda was there, but he did have to go through some heavy traffic, had some defenders leaning on him.
They've been working on the free kicks this week, both taking them and defending them. They had 2 days in which they had 2-a-day workouts, but the rest of the week was much lighter.
And the goal that beat them against Australia did result from an Australian free kick. So it is something that they do want to sort out and make sure that they don't give up goals. That was very late in the game, and they ended up losing 1-0 because they were not set up well enough to defend that free kick against Australia.
Ukraine in blue and gold. Bondarenko is number 4, playing it back. Picked off by Bruce Murrey. On the giveaway, right side to Vermese, trying to bring it inside. Vermese's pass was blocked. Simbala, number 7. Right to Brian Quinn. U.S. looking to strike first. Wynalda strikes that one out of play. Ukraine, Bataille, the U.S. is moving the ball far better than they did a couple weeks ago in Orlando against the Australians.
In fact, both teams are working the ball quite well, and Ukraine players have always been known as very creative, technical players within the Soviet system previously. They were the ones that added that little bit of flair to what was normally a system that relied almost completely on high physical work rate and training. They were the ones that came in and really made some dazzling work with the ball.
Quinn, the other way, will find Dominic Kinniër, who played collegiately at Hartwick and then left early to turn professional. Brian Quinn chased from behind. Hensko was the man there, but Quinn burnt him on it. Wynalda taken down. A late tackle draws a foul, about 25 or so yards away from goal, but a dangerous situation for the U.S.
See the ball coming over from Quinn to Wynalda, and he has space here, and now makes an excellent move to his right, and his legs were taken out from under him.
Bальбоa by the ball.
As your Ukrainian.
It's not very good. That's why I'm not telling you what they're saying. And Murray's back there as well, number 4. And Murrey can strike from that far out easily. Less than 20 minutes to go in the first half. It is scoreless for now. Bальбоa will leave it. Murrey, right footer, and it's wide of the goalkeeper, Pomazun. Bальбоa trying to set the table for number 4, Bruce Murrey, who leads this team more goals than any other player in U.S. national team history with 17.
Pomazun must have read the scouting report because he's overplaying that side, in fact, even though Murrey hit it pretty well, just a bit off target.
Budimenko, number 9 for the Ukraine. On the chest trap, Ukraine will try to maintain possession. And a Kinniër foul. Number 4, who made that chest trap, is Bondarenko. Giving it back to Moraz, number 6. Armstrong heading it away from Sherbakov, but he fouled Sherbakov. Went out of play anyway. They're going to call it a throw-in instead. No foul. Simbala. Armstrong and Murray in the double team. Murrey comes away from the pack. Kicked away by Sherbakov. A chance here. Hudimenko, number 9. A right footer is low, and Meola sees that one all the way. Doyle helping to close down, so not a real quality chance by Hudimenko.
Oh, and in fact, I think the factor that we're seeing here is the high grass. It's a bit high, and what it has done is has affected some of the shooting. I think it has also affected the counterattacking abilities of the Ukraine team. We see the shot there, not enough on it for it, and it doesn't sit up well enough to really get enough on it to put the shot on goal.
Back live, Wynalda and Armstrong, and they missed the connection. Moritz is angry at himself because he had a player breaking on the right side. Here's Armstrong in the scoreless game. Picked up by Moritz. Wynalda turning it upfield. Wynalda with a good burst of speed. Very deceptive quickness on the part of Wynalda. Armstrong tees it up, and that one's still rising.
Good technical play, but really poor shooting by both sides as they work the ball well, keep possession, getting into shooting positions, but no one's really been near the target. The best chances have only come from crosses.
And young and old watching this one, and here's another look for you at home. Armstrong just appears to miss-kick it. Wide right. Tretiak, number 3, giving it up to Nikiforov. The Ukraine slowing things down a little bit here. If the heat's going to be a factor, Ty, I would have to think it would affect the Ukrainian team, maybe more so, though, in the second half of play. Offside. Hetsko, number 10, was in an offside position. Tony Meola's had some famous games here. Shut out Malta here 1-0 a while back, and played in that 1-1 tie with Santa Clara. The last time that you'll ever see collegiate co-champions. I call that game so I remember it. Temperatures were below 0. It was a brutal day here in New-Jersey. Unlike today, a gorgeous day for soccer. Here's Brian Quinn in the scoreless game. Giving it up, Bальбоа, number 17 in white. Vermes, tackled away. Simbalar, number 7, back for the Ukraine. About 16 minutes to play. Sherbakov, breaking clear. Sherbakov in the area, chased by Doyle. Miola made the save. Corner kick coming up, and Tony Miola was brilliant. Sherbakov showed he's got some reels.
The Ukrainian-American fans here like it because he took off in a hurry, and Doyle at the last moment was able to recover. Look at this ball spinning ever so near Tony Meola's goal. He came out, cut the angle well. We'll see it from a different angle. There's Doyle getting a foot on it at the last minute, which scared Meola actually because he thought maybe he was about to make the save. Instead, it goes out for a corner kick.
Looked like Meola touched it live, but not there, right?
No, Doyle got his foot on it.
Simbalar. Crossed away, and there's Mihallik. And he'll just send it upfield, relieve the pressure. This is Clavillo coming back upfield as we welcome Sports Channel Chicago, who has just joined our presentation from Ratter's. The lead pass is for Vermes, and it's back to the goalkeeper Pomazun. This is the World Series of Soccer. In the blue and gold are the Ukraine national team against the U.S. World Cup team in the predominant white uniforms. And the U.S. has had a lot of good chances in this one, but have been unable to score on the opposite end. So it's a 0-0 game with about less than 15 minutes to go, unofficially, in this opening half of play. Coming back. Bонdarенко is fouled. You know, I was impressed with the speed of Sherbakov before, but John Doyle, not known for speed, but known for hustle, long strides, and he got back there to really break up what could have been at least a breakaway attempt on goal, if not a goal.
Well, just to contain players like Sherbakov and Hetsko, these are high-quality attackers, and they show that change of pace that is so essential for a great attacking player in this game of world soccer. And Sherbakov, his talent has been recognized. There are rumors that he will sign with the Dutch First Division team for this upcoming season.
That tells you how good he is right now. He's down on the field, victimized there by Armstrong. And they're coming out to tend to Sherbakov, Serhii Sherbakov, number 11. The U.S. getting set for their wall, but right now they're tending to Sherbakov down on the field. The U.S. has made some changes in the lineup today, some by necessity, some by injury. They're giving other players a rest, but it seems like they've been very, very creative here today. Right now, though, it is time for our Adidas trivia quiz. And the question is, how many times has the U.S. national team played in the state of New Jersey? Give you a little time to think about that one. How many times has the U.S. national team played in New Jersey? Not just here, but there are other stadiums. Of course, Giant Stadium being the predominant place, and Sherbakov is okay. Hetsko, his teammate, making sure that he is. Here's a dangerous set piece coming up for the Ukraine. They are definitely within striking distance of the U.S. goal with a little better than 13 minutes to go. A four-man wall for the U.S.
And the player laying on the ground, as Sherbakov did, can be a tactical ploy. Gives them a chance to really collect their thoughts, get a little oxygen in the system, cool off a little bit, and then make a quality strike on goal.
Hetsko and Sherbakov are over the ball. Sherbakov line up right behind it. Hetsko to the angle. Hetsko, left footer, too high. Way high against Tony Miola by one of the better goal scorers on this squad. 10 goals in the Ukrainian First Division.
You see it from Meola's angle. The ball just sails high and wide. Never got the swerve that would have been necessary to bring it down over the wall.
Ivan Hetsko plays for the club team Odessa.
Another look at it. And what he does is really try to overpower it. I mean, he was well out. He needed to get some power on it. But the ball also has to change directions.
Miola will give it up for Fernando Clavijo, the oldest player on the U.S. squad, but age is relevant with him. He's 35, but he plays like he's in his 20s. Great enthusiasm for the game. He looked for Wynalda, Sherbakov, and Clavijo knocked that one out of play.
Clavijo trains at practice as if he were a 17-year-old just trying to break into the ranks. A very disciplined professional.
I won't tell him if you don't. There's the answer to your Adidas trivia quiz. 6 times the national team has played in New Jersey. They have had some memorable games in this state, both here and at Giant Stadium in Meadowlands.
One very memorable one for Tony Miola, his debut for the U.S. team in a 3-0 victory over Peru, which opened a few people's eyes.
Marlboro Cup 1989. Brian Quinn to Dominic Kinniër, number 8. Still scoreless as Vermese was taken down. No foul called. It comes back to the goalkeeper, Pomazun. Peter Vermese has played in the First Division of Hungary and in Holland, Second Division of Spain. His team, by the way, did not qualify to go up a division. That time called in the U.S. You may recall the last World Series of Soccer presentation. We talked about Vermese and his team maybe advancing, but they didn't.
Coming in for the tackle is Murray. Really a bit of a dive because Murray tackled on the ball. May have caught a little bit of the ankle there.
I don't know whose voice it was, but you may have picked it up. Somebody said you got an 8-5 for that guy, so that was the diving judge.
That was well done.
The diving judge somewhere on the U.S. bench. On the right side, Nikiforov looking long. Sherbakov tried, or make it Hetsko tried to keep it in, but could not. The U.S. will have a throw-in. Doyle is going to leave it off instead for Murray, who had a great college career at Clemson University.
Currently, the player of greatest stature from the Ukraine is Michallichenko, a world-class midfielder. In fact, some of the U.S. players played against him in the '88 Olympics because he was a member of that gold medal team for the Soviets. He's currently playing for Glasgow Rangers in Scotland. Great player.
Ryan Quinn swings it wide right. Wynalda with a run to the right by Doyle on the overlap. Wynalda put it right through the legs of Simbalar, but couldn't get it back in the return end. Looks great when it works. Less than 9.5 minutes to go. Unofficial time here at Rutgers. A 0-0 tie. Played back. Nikiforov, number 5 for the Ukraine. A lot of room to advance it over midfield. Looking long. Too long. He wanted Kovalich. Bальбоa is back deep. Arm in arm they go. And the referee has a throw-in for the U.S. Bальбоa has played in every minute of every game this year. 1,260 minutes, 14 starts. Only he and Brian Quinn can make that claim. Up the left side of the field. Played up to Wynalda from the Mihallik. Eric Wynalda has been a force in his opening half of play. Knocked away though. Simbalar. Coming back to midfield. Hetsko with him, number 10. Doyle on the chase. Bondarenko's pass finds its way. Prokopenko. Offside. Take your pick. Hetsko is the man that they're looking at, number 10, but there was another player on the left as well.
We're reaching a critical point in this game. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the half. The United States have had a lot of it play. And Ukraine team has decided to play a bit defensively and just absorb some of the pressure. But they are tactically and strategically astute. They're going to, right now, try and steal a goal just before halftime in the U.S. if they're not mentally alert enough to this type of play. Watch Ukraine. They will change their style in the last couple minutes, see if they can't steal a goal.
Armstrong trying to get one for the U.S. instead. Far side on the bender. Vermese looking, so is Murrey. But it was deflected right back to the goalkeeper, Pomazun. Looked like off the Ukrainian player. Murrey finally getting close to 100% in terms of fitness. Missed several weeks this year with a hamstring problem. On the Kinniэр cross, it was just tipped up, and there's Pomazun.
Kinniэр again providing quality serves into the Ukraine penalty area. This one, Murray wasn't really able to test Pomazun, but he did get it in his direction.
Prokopenko is number 9. All the way across. Lead pass looking for Vermese. Pomazun comes out and running. Klawija heading it into space on the left side. Mihallik trying to get somewhere on that left wing.
I don't know about you, JP, but I like that big number 5, Nikiforov, the defender for the Ukraine. Big fella, knows how to use his size. And what speed he has. We saw him catch Wynalda earlier, and this time he was able to outpace Vermese to a loose ball.
Well, the guy we heard more about was Tretiak at the back, but Nikiforov has really outplayed him, and everyone else there for that matter. This is Tretiak, number 3. Prokopenko.
Of American Airlines.
Better than 6 minutes to go. First half, and an offside called on the Ukraine. Tony Meola will go after. There's Nikiforov, who played for Odessa, the Cup champions. He wears number 5. Only 22 years of age.
And that is a new league, the Ukrainian League, organized since independence was declared August 24th of 1991. And they've got a 20-team first division broken up into a northern group and a southern group of 10 teams each. Trying to get their star players to stay at home, some 35 of them playing abroad. Here's Quinn, 14. Sun has come right back out here at Rutgers. It disappeared for a moment, but it's back, and so is Quinn. Outside of Kinniэр, number 8. U.S. looking for the first goal of the game. Wynalda, can he keep it alive? It went out, but they'll say corner kick for the U.S. They've had several of those in this first half. No doubt in terms of possession, in terms of territorial play that the U.S. team has dominated. But there have been some very dangerous counterattacks that have been launched by the Ukraine.
Mihallik, whose father was a former Polish international, also played for Hartford in the NASL. Mihallik will send it into the middle. And there's the goalkeeper, Pomazun, before Vermese or anyone else could get to it. Under 5 minutes to go, unofficial time here at Rutgers. In our World Series of Soccer matches, there is no overtime, so they'll just play the 90 minutes. If it ends up a tie, that's the way it goes. Still a lot more soccer action to come your way, though. This is only the first half as we watch Mihályk's corner kick.
On the in-swinger, again, he's very accurate with the serve. This time, though, he hangs it a bit too high and also puts it too close to the goalkeeper, Pomazun.
About 4.5 minutes to go. First half of play. Klawija fouling Pavlich. Part of the crowd in attendance here today at Rutgers, watching Ukraine in their first game ever as an independent nation outside of their own country. And what a country to play, the country that stands for freedom, the United States. We'll talk more about that at halftime with Gene Chisowicz, one of the promoters of this game. Ball played in long. Doyle with Meola there. Physical in the area. And this one goes out of play. And let's see, it's going to be a throw-in for the U.S. You may remember that name, Gene Chisowicz, because he's a former coach of our U.S. national team and a Ukrainian American. Throw-in for the U.S., that was Klawija. Kinniэр has it knocked away. Quinn, who has a commanding presence in the midfield, to Bальбоа. Less than 3.5 remaining. Wynalda behind the defense for the header. Too high. What a great chance. Bальбоа finding Wynalda. Great effort by the U.S.
The long ball by Bальбоa, very accurate as he finds unmarked Eric Wynalda. Wynalda having to reach back a bit though, and not able to really get it on target. Sometimes on those, it's better perhaps rather than try and head the ball on goal to head it back. Hopefully someone's coming in support because it's a difficult distance on that long of a head ball to try and beat the goalkeeper.
4 goals in 5 games in '92 for Wynalda, who's trying to get out of the doghouse of Milutinovic. And if he plays the way he has been today, it might be very easy to do that.
Here's the chance. The long ball played in by Bальбоa. Wynalda's up. And he does have players in support that he perhaps could have knocked the ball down into their path rather than elect to score the goal directly.
John Doyle, number 3, pushing it outside to Clavijo. Fernando Clavijo playing long ball to Vermese, too far. Kinniэр, though, may end up with it. They will on the throw. The U.S. will have the throw, but they'll wait and they'll leave it for Clavijo. On the throw towards Vermese, it gets right through. No harm done, though. Pomazun calls his teammates off and makes the play. The stadium clock has gone off. There are 2 minutes to go. Unofficially. We'll do our best to time it for you ourselves. There's a clock, upper portion of your screen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Right side. This is Tretiak. Up near midfield. Scoreless match between the USA and the national team of Ukraine. And this one goes out of play. Plenty of flags here today, both from a U.S. and a Ukraine standpoint. We're told there are some 25,000 Ukrainian Americans who live in the metropolitan New York area. It's a big game for them. Tretiak. Blocked, it comes right back. Nikiforov, good move on the cut. Playing it. Bонdarенко. Kovalich. Inside for Hetsko, and it was headed out by Bальбоa. Corner kick coming up. That was dangerous.
Bальбоa really had no other choice to get that ball out of there because as that cross came in, we'll see it here. Number 9 and 10 in good positions to strike on goal, and that's Hetsko, number 10, and Hudimeko, their 2 best scorers, getting deep into the 6-yard box.
Corner kick from Meola's left side. Still scoreless, a nice bender to the middle, headed down by Bондаренко. Left side, this is Simbalar. Cross to the far post, Miola up and at him to make the play. Miola knows time is running down here in this first half of play, wants everyone to advance for a long punt. And now he changes to Bальбоa. Little pressure from Hetsko. And now this time we may see it. We will. Looking for Vermese or Wynalda. On the bounce, it's Wynalda. Loose in the area, cleared out. Ryan Quinn chasing. Murrey. Couldn't get it through.
Heavy collision there.
Sherbakov was number 11 for the Ukraine. He's broken up. Clavijo back to Bальбоa. I would think we might be into injury time right about now. Somewhere, here's Quinn. Looking for Vermese over the shoulder. Tough one into the sun. Vermese giving it up. Mihallik. Giving it back now to Brian Quinn. Quinn, a right footer, it's blocked. Simbalar will play it back to Pomazun. Your official Caulfield looking at his watch for a second. So time is running down here in this first half.
We've seen some attractive ball work by both teams, but in the final analysis, the last shot has not been very convincing.
Well, you saw on our clock, upper portion of your screen, we went about a minute or so, or almost a full minute, into injury time. No scoring, though, in the first half of play, but all in all, Ty, I thought a very entertaining scoreless first half of play.